The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Glory to you, O Lord. At that time, Jesus went about in Galilee. He would not go about in Judah because the Jews sought to kill him. Now the Jews' feast of the tabernacles was at hand. But after his brethren had gone up to the feast, then he also went up, not publicly, but in private. Some of the people of Jerusalem therefore said, "Is not this the man whom they seek to kill? And here he is, speaking openly, and they say nothing to him. Can it be that the authorities really know that he is the Christ? Yet we know where this man comes from, and when the Christ appears, no one will know where he comes from." So Jesus proclaimed as he taught in the temple, "You know me, and you know where I come from. But I have not come of my own accord. He who sent me is true, and him you do not know. I know him, for I come from him, and he sent me." So they sought to arrest him, but no one laid hands on him, because his hour had not yet come. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
The first reading from the Book of Wisdom about the godly man should remind us of the good man from the Psalms, or the suffering servant. And there is a truth that we see in everyday life, that when somebody tries to live a good life, when they try to do what is right, it, to use an English phrase, gets up the nose of those who don't want to live a good life. It can be annoying. It shows them up. I've shared before how, as an apprentice, if you worked too hard to get the job done, the other apprentices would take you aside and tell you to stop working so hard because you were showing them up. And this is exactly what's going on in that first reading from the Book of Wisdom. The fact that if you try and live the Christian life as fully as we ought to, it's going to make other people feel uncomfortable. There is a very sad, wonderful but sad book by a Canadian author called Mercy Among the Children, about a man who is falsely accused. He loses his wife. He himself has difficulties in his childhood. It just seems that everything goes wrong for him. And what amazes people is how, and annoys people, is how he just takes it and lives through it. And that's part of the message of the story, is just how strong he is and how that is what actually gets him through. All of these from the Old Testament are pointing towards Christ, because Christ is the good man, the only truly good human being who has ever lived, because he is the Son of God as well as being the Son of Mary. He is human and divine completely. And his life is going to annoy those who have got other interpretations of how to live the law, other views of what the Messiah should be. The Gospel reminds us this is the beginning of the great controversies that lead to Christ's arrest. And possibly, although we've become so secular now, things have changed. In the past, as we got closer and closer to Holy Week, especially things like the History channel on the DSTV, there would be programs about what happened in Holy Week and why was Christ crucified. Nowadays, it's more about, this stupid Christian myth about Jesus, it's, Christianity is a myth, so they don't even bother talking about these things. It's more about, was Jesus real, and what is this that people are believing in? But in the past, you would get these programs about why Jesus was crucified and what really happened, and they will draw out the fact that of all the political things that were going on, that there was this freedom movement among the Jewish people against the Romans, and it was the jealousy of the chief priests and the scribes, and it was all about political or human stuff. And all of this hides the fact that the real underlying action in the Passion is good against evil, literally. It can be couched in whatever terms you like, but the reality is Christ's life is this complete destruction of evil by, in a sense, surrendering to it, surrendering completely to the will of the Father. But seemingly, by allowing suffering and evil to take over, he actually destroys them from within. That's the heart of everything. And it's this absolute obedience to the Father, the life of the good man who tries to live completely this good life, that actually is the thing that overcomes the evil. For us, of course, we are dealing with the absolute reality of Christ, who comes out of love for us and makes that love real. They sought to arrest him, but no one laid hands on him because his hour had not yet come. This reminds us that God truly is in charge.